Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Rebel. I'm just back behind the camera. Anyways, I want to give you my parental advisory, just in case. I did cuss like a sailor, and I could also talk like a pervert. So, if you waited to that exit stage left, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings none, because I know I ain't everybody's cup of tea. And yes, I have a SpongeBob boo-boo going on, so don't mind the bandage. So, as the title states down below, I am doing a eyeshadow palette declutter. Yes, these bad boys, yeah, technically they are bad boys, have not been paying their rent, so they're getting their asses evicted out of my collection. Plus, I need more room for new shit, because I am the consumer who loves to buy shit that she probably doesn't really need. But anyways, so we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to start pulling palettes. Some of you may be surprised. Probably others are not going to be surprised. So this is the first palette. Oh, before I even get to this palette, I want to say this disclaimer. Not really a disclaimer, I'm just going to tell you. The last time I did a declutter, I posted the video on YouTube. I had a lot of people in my inbox wanting my stuff. One, everything I declutter is being given away. It's going to a inspiring artist, a young girl actually. She don't have a lot of makeup, so I'm giving her what I am getting rid of. So please, don't be a mooch. Don't ask for this shit. This shit is not worth mailing to you, okay? So just don't be one of those people, alright? I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, if you're going to be one of those people that ask for the stuff. But just don't, okay? Just don't do it. Don't do it. Like I said, this shit is not worth spending 20 bucks to mail to you. So, anyways, like I said, this stuff is claimed for. Or, is claimed. Never mind. Here, we're just going to get to this damn palette. So, this is the Betsy Johnson, the Love Betsy palette I got from Walmart around Christmas time, or it was after Christmas. It's not a bad palette. It worked well. I did a video on it. It worked fine. It's just, I'm never going to pick up this palette. I'm never going to use this color story, and I haven't picked it up since the last time I used it. So, I'm just going to go ahead and pass it on. Like I said, this is not, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. That's not why I'm decluttering it. It's not a color story I'm ever going to reach for. And even if I want this color story, I have it in other palettes I love way more than this. So, it's going to go ahead and get passed on. Here's the next one I'm letting go of. It's my Milani. I have no clue what palette this is. It's one of the gilded palettes. I know that much. But, yeah, so it's this color story. So it's kind of a purpley blue moment. Just not using it. It's not bad. It's not the greatest either. I've got other palettes with these colors that I would use a lot more than I would this one. And this one's just set in my collection. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass it on. And she will probably love it. So here's the next one. I know, big shocker. But not really. I'm going to pause the camera because I'm about to start sneezing. Hold on 1 second. Okay, now back to your regular program. Okay. I am not a big fan of the Juvia's Place formula. I kept 2 palettes. I think I have 2 left in the collection. I don't know. There's something about the formula I just don't care for. It's pigmented, which I should love, but I don't know. Just something about it I'm not a big fan of. So like I said, I kept 2, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. This is the Saharan. This is kind of a pretty neutral story. It's basic as hell, basically. And I could get these colors in my other palettes. So I decided to clear some room. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. I love the packaging. I think the women that they put on here are beautiful. I love the artwork of it and everything, but like I said, I'm just not a fan of the formula, so it's going to go ahead and go. My allergies, I am sorry, I'm going to be short through this whole thing. Allergies are terrible right now. I'm allergic to mold, and that's all that's growing out there right now because we've had so much damn rain. But anyways, this is the BH Cosmetics Golden Twilight palette. And it's a neutral story. It's got some green in it. It's goldish, you know. It's boring, basic as fuck. Oh, basic as hell, sorry. I didn't mean to throw that one in. I'm not in a good mood either because I don't feel great, but I want to get this video done. And there's my snort again. So every time I snort, y'all take a shot. You'll be drunk by the end of this, I promise. This is okay formula. It's not the best BH formula I've ever had. But what basically pisses me off about these is look how small these pan sizes are. You have to use a small brush to get into these. They're like almost smaller than a dime. I just don't like how small it is. So it's going. It's going. I don't need that. Along with this one here. This is the Midnight. I guess just the Midnight, yeah, palette for BH. And it's that same, okay, Midnight City. It's that same small ass pan again. This is just a basic blue and brown palette I could get in my collection over here. So, like I said, these just piss me off how small they are. Like I said, the formula is not terrible. It's not the best, but it's not terrible either. So, yeah, it's going to go ahead and go too. I just wish the pans weren't so damn small. Okay, the next set of palettes are going to be these guys. As you know, I'm a big avid collector of Profusion Cosmetics stuff, or at least their palettes. But these did not impress me at all. They're cute. They're cute as hell. I like the packaging, but this just ain't the quality of hopefully I'm not saying something else. I'm probably saying somebody else. Profusion. There we go. This is not the quality of Profusion that I'm used to, that I like. So, we'll start off with this one. This one is the Here Lies Gesture. These are from Halloween 2020. So, unfortunately, it's cheap packaging. It's got this plastic. It's not even good plastic. It's like the flexible ass plastic. Pretty colors, but they're just not pigmented. They're not what I'm used to with Profusion. So that's Gesture. This is Hellcat. Hellcat would be a gorgeous palette. I would absolutely love it. But as you can see, like, these two shades are damn near the same. It doesn't have the pigmentation. It doesn't blend well. Just not a fan. And this is Here Lies Fangs. Once again, I like this color combo. But as you can see, some of the colors are pretty similar. Just not very good pigmentation to it. So, I'm going to go ahead. These have been paying rent. They are going. Okay, so this next one is not going to be no surprise to you all. I'm surprised it even lasted this long. I'm surprised the damn thing didn't get thrown in the trash. That's what I'm surprised about. It's this Hard Candy Marilyn Monroe palette. I just did a video on it, what, a month ago? It hasn't been that long ago. It sucked. Really wasn't a lot of pigmentation to it. Just wasn't a very good palette at all. It's a damn shame too, because I do like Marilyn Monroe. I do like this packaging. I do think it is kind of cute. It has her face and stuff on it. But, oh, this was just, it was a bad palette. It was bad. You go watch that video, you'll see this was garbage. This was trash. This definitely didn't pay its damn rent, so it's definitely getting its ass evicted. So it's out. So the next one is for Prolux. This is called the Rainbow Light palette. It's got a beautiful holographic thing going on, but this is a total pressed pigment palette. It's just a pressed pigment, not pressed pigment. It's pressed glitter. There we go, dumbass. Get it together. This is pressed glitter. I have used these two. Well, that one totally up, and this one's close to being used up. But I I prefer my Profusion pressed glitters over this one, and I forgot, to be totally honest. It was even in my drawer, so it's going to go ahead and go. Like I said, I have my Profusion ones that I like using better, so it's going to go ahead and go. This one is an oldie but a goodie, kinda. It wasn't the best. I will be honest. It wasn't the best. I've had it for a while. This is from Starry Cosmetics. I don't even know who they are. I got it from some cheap website. I don't remember which one. Like I said, I've had this forever. So, but it's a colorful eyeshadow palette. It looks like that. And I have used it quite a bit, especially this white, this black, and some of these other colors. This worked well at the time for me whenever I was doing my Halloween looks, and I needed something to set my cream face paint that I was using. So these worked well for that purpose of setting those, where they wouldn't move around, where they wouldn't like crack and stuff. But since I've changed what I use now, I don't need this necessarily. It's probably going to get thrown away. I don't know. She may want to play around with it since it is colorful. So, and it's still okay. It still smells fine. It's just, it's hit hard pan. As you can see, it's several of the colors. So you have to sit there and scratch off the hard pan. Like I said, it's not the best. It worked well for setting stuff, but it did have the best pigmentation I've ever had. So, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. So next one I'm going to go ahead and toss is the Maybelline Soda Pop palette. For a drugstore palette, I will say this is not bad, but anybody that knows me and watches my channel, if you don't, what the hell, why are you not watching me? Anyways, I love pigmentation. I've always said I'm a pigmentation whore when it comes to my eyeshadows. The more pigmentation, the better, in my book, basically. But not a lot of people are like me and want all that pigmentation. They want something that's going to build up to what they want. That's fine. This is the palette for you. If you are looking for something to just build up, this is it. Like I said, this is not a bad one. It's fine. You just have to build it up. But there's no point in me keeping it because I've only used it a couple of times. Just wasn't my thing. I've got these colors in other palettes, so it just needs to go ahead and move on. Plus, I got it super cheap in Walmart. It was on a clearance pile, so it wasn't that bad. Not that bad of a loss. This kind of pains me. This was a gift, and I don't really like getting rid of gifts, and I like the brand, except for this palette. This is from UKB. This is the Fruit Punch palette. It's a rainbow palette, but it just doesn't have a very good pigmentation to it. It's pretty splotchy when I've put it on, and I've used different mediums, like basically concealers, and it still kind of splotches out, it patches out. It's not that great. And I have other UKB palettes that I love the formula of, but this is a totally different formula than those, and I don't care for it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on. Give her some more rainbow colors to play with. Now this is going to be no surprise either. This has been on my channel. I've done a review of it. This was part of my Amazon makeup review, and I doubt I'd ever buy it from this brand again. This is from W7, the Baby Bee palette. Everybody said I made a look out of it and it looked good. But I just don't care, one, for these small little pans again. It's hard to get a brush down in it. But I did like the formula of this thing. It kind of faded during the day in my eyes. Kind of left bald spots here and there. It's not the best thing ever. I would not recommend buying this if you see this. It was actually a collection. I think I've got other things in the collection that's being tossed. So, yeah, it wasn't great. So it did pay its dues, so it's got to go. So I'm giving up this one. If you are, like I said, if somebody wants to build up a palette, then these are perfect. I don't have the patience to build up palettes, especially these darker colors and everything. This is Halloween time, Walmart had these. The Wet n Wild Fantasy Maker. This is the Pick Your Poison color. I love the color story. I love these red tones. Red, berry, dark, gold, orange mess we got here. I like the color story. It's just, it's not that pigmented and it doesn't blend that well. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on. I didn't do much with it on my channel. I just tried it a few times and I just wasn't impressed with it. I haven't been really impressed with Wet n Wild's eyeshadow palettes until I got the Pac-Man one and the SpongeBob one. Now, they're not the greatest things ever. They're not the best. But so far, those two have been the only Wet n Wilds that are decent in my opinion. This is all my opinion. Now, if you like the Wet n Wild stuff, I'm glad it works for you. But it just doesn't work for me and I just don't care for it. So, I'm getting rid of that one. And I don't know if I'm going to buy any more Wet n Wild eyeshadows. This will probably be a surprise to a lot of people. This was a gift too. And like I said, I hate getting rid of gifts, but this is the Colourpop Candyland, or Candy Castle. It's Candyland's palette, basically. I have two issues with this palette. One, I'm not much into the pastels, and this is mostly a pastel, except for you got this one dark color here. It's mostly a pastel palette. And two, this is not the best Colourpop palette I've ever had. This is actually, it's bad, in my opinion. I think there were some people that did like it. But this one, some of the colors, I think it was this color here. It was one of these two. They kind of splotch out. These pastels are so light that you really don't even see them on the skin. You just see the glitter that they have. Like all these, except for this one here. This one is a true matte. The rest of them all have glitter in them. Oh, maybe that one. Okay, that one don't. Oh, that one don't either. I lied. My bad. These three here don't have the glitter, but the rest of them have those little chunks of pressed glitter all throughout it. So these only look like a wash of glitter. You can't really see the color. That one's decent. This one's okay. Like I said, these two have the glitter all throughout it. It's just not the greatest. And when I went to looking through my collection, I have about every one of these colors in my other Colourpop palettes that work a lot better than these. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. Like I said, this was not a good Colourpop palette. I think they just rush the shit to get it out and sell it and make money, because all really they're going to buy is the cuteness of it. That's the only thing that sold them, was the cuteness and the nostalgia of whoever played Candyland. So, yeah, that's just going to go. And this is the last, but not least. Well, no, it's least. It's the last palette anyways. This is Profusion Frostbite. This was 2 years ago. It was a Christmas a collection. I think that was released in the UK and areas like that. We didn't have it here until the following year. But this is a 35 shade palette. This one has the Profusion. Okay. This has the Profusion formula. This is a decent, good formula, Profusion formula. It's just such a boring color story. And I have this in other palettes. This is taking up room. I've never even touched, all I've done is swatch it out. That's it. So, it just needs to go ahead and go. It's taking up space. Like I said, even in the Profusion palettes, I have a lot of these colors in those palettes. So, it can just go ahead and go, find a new home. Like I said, it's not bad, but it's just not something I would personally am going to use. So there's no point in me keeping it. I just let it go bad in my collection. So, anyways, that's it for this declutter. I have part 2 coming up, because this was technically part 1. Part 2 is coming up. It's mostly going to be all my face stuff that I'm getting rid of. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to me. I sure appreciate it. And if you haven't, hit the subscribe button down below. If you are a small creator, please let me know down below, and if you subscribe to me, I will subscribe back to you. We should scratch each other's backs here on YouTube, since we are such small little fish in such a big pond. But anyways, I love you all, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye.